audio maybe.
Hello, welcome to WeLearn. This is session number 9 of English. Topics to be covered under this. Today we are going to discuss about voices, active voice, passive voice, how to avoid passive voice. Active versus passive voice. What is active voice? What do you understand by active voice? In the active voice, the subject performs the action. Here subject, if we take an example, Joseph draws a picture. सब्जेक्ट इसमें क्या है? जोसेफ सब्जेक्ट है और वो एक पिक्चर को ड्रॉ कर रहा है, ये उसका एक्शन है. ही इज ड्रॉइंग अ पिक्चर. सो एक्टिव वॉइस में क्या है? हम जब सब्जेक्ट को दिखाते हैं कि वो एक्शन कर रहा है, दैट इज एन एक्टिव वॉइस. बट पैसिव वॉइस में क्या होता है? सब्जेक्ट इज एक्टेड अपॉन. लाइक इसमें वी मे टेक सब्जेक्ट और नॉट, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द सिचुएशन. द ड्रॉइंग, इसमें the picture was drawn by Joseph. Here, in this case, the drawing is the subject and it is being acted upon by Joseph. So, when do we use passive voice? We use passive voice when we do not wish to emphasize the subject of the sentence. जब हमें सब्जेक्ट को एम्फेसाइज नहीं करना है तब हम पैसिव वॉइस को यूज करते हैं. सपोज स्मोकिंग इज प्रोहिबिटेड. किसने प्रोहिबिट किया? दैट वी डोंट नो. इसको हमने पैसिव वॉइस में लिया है. सब्जेक्ट इज नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट, बट स्मोकिंग करना, स्मोकिंग के ऊपर हमने स्ट्रेस दिया. इसमें किस मैनेजमेंट ने उसको प्रोहिबिट किया? दैट वी डोंट नो. सो द पैसिव सेंटेंस टेक्स अटेंशन away from who has given these instructions. Smoking is prohibited. The management prohibits smoking. इसमें active is the management. Management is subject. So they do not have to be in the role of the bad guys in case of passive. We also use passive voice when we wish to emphasize what happened and the person or thing acting is unknown or unimportant. जिसके जब what happened is important, but जो person है या thing है, that is not important. Poisonous gases were found in 6 factories. Poisonous gases were found, but किसने वो ढूंढी? किनको मिली वो poisonous gases in 6 factories में? That is not important. So this is a passive voice. Poisonous gases were found in 6 factories. By whom is not important. So this is a passive voice. When do we use active voice? Use active voice unless you are required or have very specific reasons for doing otherwise. Always use active voice. It leads to concise writing, specific, to the point, and it clarifies who is performing the action. Subject is clear in this case. Staying active is a healthy practice, especially in writing. How to avoid passive voice? Many English verbs have been changed into useful nouns with the use of a suffix. Announce is used as announcement in case of passive voice. Propose, proposal, depart, departure, meet, meeting. For active voice, sentences use the verb instead of the noun form of these kinds of words. So we don't use nouns in case of passive voice, in case of active voices. We use verb for active sentences. We have so many examples to show you. Another way of preserving active voice is by placing the nouns doing the action before the verb. Placing the nouns doing the action before the verb. Like in this sentence, Jessica scattered the seeds. Here, if we take the seeds were scattered by Jessica. If we take it in active voice, Jessica scattered the seeds. अगर noun Jessica को हम verb से पहले रख देंगे, then it become an active voice. We have passive voices. The seeds were scattered by Jessica. A healthy harvest is expected by Jessica and her father. इसमें noun क्या है इस sentence में? We have Jessica and her father. So this noun will be placed before verb. Verb हमारा इसमें क्या है? Expected. So this sentence can be changed into active voice by writing Jessica and her father expected a healthy harvest. So this is concise also, and this gives stress on Jessica and her father. Subject पर भी stress हो रहा है इस पे. Jessica scattered the seeds. Who scattered the seeds? Jessica scattered the seeds. The seeds were scattered by Jessica. If by Jessica is not important, then we use passive mostly. Avoid forms of the verb to be. All passives consist of a form of the verb to be. Like to be में क्या क्या होगा? Am, is, are, was, were, being, been. Plus a past participle. The boy was impressed by Mrs. Jones. So here was is used. To be form of the verb is used. A past participle is the ed form of regular verbs, and in some irregular verbs we use en, n and t, and can fill the empty slot in this sentence. I had dash it. I had filled it. Fill is the verb, regular verb, and we have used ed with it. I had filled it. Houses were destroyed by the storm. Were is used, to be form is used, destroyed. Ed after the verb is also used in this case. And in another case, the cake was eaten by me. Was is used, and then en after the verb eat is used. Similarly, in other sentences also. Here we can take a kitten was chosen by the family. Was is used, then chosen en is used after the verb choose, chose, chosen. So chosen is used by the family to have as a pet. So answers, these all are passive voices. Possible answers for them. If we take the first case, first is houses are destroyed by the storm. In this case we will write answer of the active voices, the storm destroyed houses. In another case, the cake was eaten by me. You can say I ate the cake. Inexpensive ways for people to have fun are provided by parks. Parks provide inexpensive ways for people to have fun. Parks provide inexpensive fun or inexpensive ways to have fun. Either way you can write it. Similarly, for next sentence, Joseph Priestley discovered oxygen in 1774. The family chose a kitten as a pet. These all are active voices. In the previous slide, we have seen all passive voices. Now there is a review for various tenses like simple present tense and simple past tense. In case of simple present tense, there is an interrogative sentence. How do people create ketchup? Now answer to this question is people create ketchup from tomatoes. If we use a passive of above question, above interrogative sentence, it is how is ketchup created by people. By people you may add into the sentence or you may not. It all depends on you, because it is not at all important in this particular sentence. In passive answer, this was the question and people create ketchup from tomatoes. And in passive answer you will write ketchup is created by people, you may use it or not, from tomatoes. It is important that ketchup is created from tomatoes. Who created or who create is not important. How is important, who is not important. So by people we have taken as optional. So these are the active questions and active answer, and below it is passive question and passive answer. Similarly, in another simple present tense, how do chefs make mayonnaise? How? In this case again, how is mayonnaise made? You are thinking about how it is made. You are not thinking about who made them. So by chefs is optional. Similarly, answer is given. Chefs make mayonnaise from oil and eggs. So mayonnaise is made from oils and eggs by chefs. It is optional. In passive voice, as I already told you, that we do not give stress on subject. In simple present tense, where do farmers grow grapes? Where are grapes grown by farmers? In active and passive voice, you are to be clear that sense should be the same in both the sentences. Whether you use it as an active sentence or a passive voice, sense should be the same in both the sentences. Only thing is, where should we use active? Most of the times we use active only, and in some few cases we use passive also. Another examples of simple present tense, where do people find opals? Where are opals found? People find opals in Tequila, Mexico. Opals are found by people in Tequila, Mexico. Other examples for your exercise, for your practice are given over here. You can go through them. Where do people eat pho? People eat pho in Vietnam. So where is pho eaten? Where is important here, but by people it is understood that people eat it. Why? Why do farmers raise cows? Why are cows raised by farmers? These are giving one and the same meaning, only thing emphasis has been changed in both the sentences. कि किस पर आपने emphasize ज़्यादा करना, it all depends. Similarly, these are few examples. Now we are practicing with past tense. The auxiliary verb for the active voice changes from do, does to did. In all the earlier questions, सब जो पुराने हमने questions interrogative form में जो हमारे पास sentences थे, उन सब में हमने do, does कर question पूछा है. But in past, do और does को हम did में convert कर देंगे, and auxiliary verb जो हमारे passive voice में थे वो is are थे in case of present tense, और past में जाकर हम was या were में convert कर देंगे. Clear? Now in simple past tense, when did they discover the world's largest diamond? They discovered the world's largest diamond in 1905. So here, जब हम पैसिव में इस क्वेश्चन को करते हैं, when did they discover the world's largest diamond? Did was converted into was here. When was the world's largest diamond discovered? Discovered by whom is not important. When is important. They discovered the world's largest diamond in 1905. So it is not important who are they. They is not important. The world's largest diamond discovered है, तो इसके साथ auxiliary verb हम was लगाकर was discovered in 1905. This is passive answer. Similarly, there are few examples for you people. You guys can go through it. Why was cotton grown in Goodyear? It is a passive voice. Why was? Was will be converted to did. Why did a company grow cotton in good year? Similarly, there are other simple past tenses. You can go through these tenses in active as well as passive voices. Percy Spencer discovered microwave cooking in 1905. So what is important over here? Here is important when. When is important because the question is in when. So when May 1945 is important. Microwave cooking was discovered because it is in past. So we will write was here. Was discovered. Who did that discovery is not important. By Percy Spencer is optional. But in which year it is important? In 1945. So passive answer, microwave cooking was discovered in 1945. Similarly, there are other examples. Now there is an exercise. How to avoid passive voice? In which situations we can avoid passive voice and how we can avoid that? To be forms हम ना यूज कर अगर हम डायरेक्ट सेंटेंसेस पे जाएंगे तो we would be able to avoid passive voices. और अगर when do we use active voice और हमें active voice कब यूज करनी? When do we करते हैं? When do we use? कब करते हैं हम active voice use? उसका आंसर पीछे वाले सेशन में इसी सेशन में दे रखे हैं. You kindly go through this session thoroughly and you will find the answers. Thank you. Happy relearning.